Hi ninjas, how are you doing? It's your girl Owamie, and welcome back to my channel. If it's the first time joining me, most definitely welcome. Please do make sure that you subscribe and obviously hit the bell. I also love you, and do not forget to follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. It's at boldly Owamie. I know there's someone that has actually commented to say you speak too fast, don't have commas and stuff. It's intentional, darling. Okay. On that. But anyway, Nijas, I am actually shooting at Mupandi Studios. Mupandi Studios, guys, we've got so many different backgrounds. And so this coming weeks, I'm going to be showing you guys sort of like different setups, different backgrounds. And I'm really excited about that. Today, I decided to go with this chic look, the white chair that hugs, and obviously just windows and mirrors, honey. This place is gorgeous. I'm not even going to lie. And of course, you guys can see the quality is quality. So if you also want to come shoot where I actually open, I'm going to have numbers and an email address. Go ahead and send your inquiries so that you can also come and get quality and unique content, honey. Okay. Now I also do want to say that I'm sorry, guys. There was supposed to be an episode of To Hell and Back that came out at 12. Unfortunately, yesterday was Mother's Day and I was really struggling. I'm not even going to lie. I was supposed to come to the office and send the footage to my editor, but unfortunately I couldn't. However, I have sent it to her, and so that episode is going to air tomorrow at 10 a.m. So, yeah, just make sure that you've got that appointment. I am really just so sorry. But I did not want us to not have a video today, and so I decided that I'm actually going to shoot this video for you guys. Now, last week, Friday, I did post a video, and with that video, I was talking about how I was financially abused in marriage, and for years, I didn't even know. And the video really performed well here on YouTube. I saw your comments and everything, but when I tell you guys that it went like wildfire on TikTok, I did not even expect it. I've gained over 2,500 followers. We are literally this close to hitting 100,000. So if you have not followed me on TikTok, please do go and follow me. I really just want to hit that 100,000 over there as well. But yeah, there was so much that I actually saw, and obviously I cannot reply to every comment, but most of the comments I was actually reading, and just seeing what women were saying. Also here on YouTube, I did see that some of you guys also took that opportunity to also just share some of the stuff that you guys have done that made it seem like what I have done is nothing. I'm out here talking about 25,000 rands, and someone out there has taken a loan of 350,000 rands, and I think that one thing that I can go ahead and just say to you guys is that the reason why I do this type of content and this type of videos, it first of all has nothing to do with my ex-husband. I literally have forgiven that guy. I have moved on completely. However, obviously these are my life experiences, and of course I'm going to talk about the things that I've gone through. The second thing is that it really would pain me, if the younger generation was to make the same mistakes that we did because they've never heard of it. I feel like it's just so useless for us to make mistakes, have our younger siblings make the same mistakes, our youngest do the same, all in the name of have secrets. Guys, I don't think that there are certain secrets or things that should be kept a secret. Okay, I went and took a loan, paid in daughters, equality. Whether I talk about it or not, that happened. Talking about it can help the next person out there. The third thing again is that I obviously am not someone that's going to sit here and just think that, oh, this happened only to me. I really honestly did not know that it was financial abuse when I was in at that time. So there are times that I actually sit and I hope that someone that is actually in a relationship where they're being financially abused, then with me speaking out, they can be able to sit down and actually say, wow, I'm actually also being financially abused, and they would stop. If your man stays with your card, honey, please go fetch your card. Please don't be like me. Go and fetch your card. I feel like it's very much unnecessary for your partner to have control of your money. I think that even if you guys were to sit down, because households will be run differently, but I think that even if you were to sit down and say, okay, your responsibilities are this, my responsibilities are that. If I hustle more than I can afford to get that Gucci bag, I'm going to get that Gucci bag. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I think that honestly is fair of the fact that couples should sit down and actually talk about finances, right? But there was one comment that in particular on TikTok literally caught my attention, and I was like, this is exactly what I'm going to talk about. You cannot make a husband out of an insecure man. Ciao. You can't do it, boo. It is impossible. It is undone. You know that song that says, you cannot make a wife out of a hoe. You cannot make a husband out of an insecure nigger. That should also be a song, honey. That should literally also be a song. I think that, I'm someone that I actually love learning from my mistakes. I do go through the same emotions that I feel like everyone does, when you find out that, oh my gosh, like this was me, I was in this situation, I did not even know. Sometimes, at first you beat yourself up a bit, and then I do remind myself that, listen, Owamie, remember you made this decision at a point where you did not know better. So you cannot punish your past self for doing things without having the knowledge that your current self has. The only thing that you can do is that you can educate yourself and obviously do your best to make sure that you do not repeat your old mistakes, and you also learn from other people's mistakes so that you do not make the mistakes that they actually did. That's literally how I live my life. And so when I saw that comment, I was like, oh my goodness, like I wish somebody actually literally told me this, that you cannot make a husband or a partner out of an insecure man. So let me tell you guys, right? I know that a lot of you guys that follow me are Christians, so am I. The Bible, guys, when God created husband and wife, the institution of marriage is that as a wife, you're supposed to respect your husband. As a husband, you're supposed to love your wife. It never said as a husband, respect your wife. It never said as a wife, love your husband. It said as a wife, respect your husband, and as a husband, love your wife. You understand? I actually have realized that when it comes to financial abuse in relationships or in marriages, it comes off because of the insecurities that is of a man. If it's a matter of it's a woman that's being financially abused. I've seen that there are certain people that are like, no, but there are also men that are financially abused. There are men that do this, they do that, they do that. Today we're talking about women. If you're a man that has been financially abused and you would like to come share your story, I'm very much open to that. But unfortunately, today we're only talking about women that are being financially abused because that is the majority when it comes to these toxic relationships. Your man, guys, is supposed to provide for you. Your man is supposed to provide for you. If you guys are actually in a healthy relationship and things are going the way they're supposed to be, your man is supposed to provide for you. And then with provision, what comes with provision? Provision brings respect from a woman. And when a woman is respectful towards her man, that also gives love. So increases also the love. But at the end of the day, a man is going to love you, whether he loves you or not. It's like in the basics of the relationship. But I know that like if you are a man that has got a wife that respects you, that actually increases your love for that woman. So you want to provide more for this person. You want to make sure that she's happy. You want to make sure that she's protected. You want to make sure that she's sheltered. You want to make sure that she does not stress. And in that, a man is now operating in his masculine energy, and a woman is now, it's easier for a woman to now come down and submit and give respect to her husband. And that's how it's supposed to be, guys. But it is very much unfortunate of the fact that when you meet a man and this man is insecure, you won't get that. You will not get that. A man that lacks self-confidence is a red flag. I don't know how red of a flag I should tell you that is. It's a red flag. And I'm going to go ahead and just give you guys just a few pointers on how you can see an insecure man, right? First of all, if your man is constantly sitting and talking to you and complaining to you about money, but he never goes out and make effort to make more, you are being manipulated. I'm not saying that men should not talk. Men should talk, and your wife should be your safe haven. But if he sits and he's constantly, baby, I really, the way I want to make money, there's this and this and this and this and this. But then when he's done, he goes and sleeps. He is definitely manipulating you. You are being manipulated, sis. He will tell you all the plans that he wants you guys to do. But he's not going to go out there and try get money to make sure those plans go to pass. No, that is actually a message that is being sent to you to say that Sisipela, this amount of money is actually gonna be needed. I will talk to you guys and also be giving you guys some examples, right? I remember year 2020, right before COVID hit, we actually went in and we had a house plan, right? So because we had bought land, you guys remember, or I paid for it. So I had bought land and we're supposed to start building a house, right? This is plans that obviously we would sit and talk about, blah, blah, blah. And so now I was like, nah, man, it's time for us to actually start. The plan was to also just start maybe with the garage and part of the house so that we move in. And then the money we're paying for rent, we save up and make sure that we're going to obviously build the house faster and everything. And I remember after the plan, we did take the plan to like a hardware where they do sell building materials, and so they gave us a quote, and so I was like, oh, okay, that's doable because life that side is very affordable. I won't lie, it's not like Gauteng. And at that time, didn't have any car that I was paying or anything. All the cars were bought cash, and everything. So I knew that this is a goal that is very much realistic, and I knew that I was actually going to be able to do this. And now you should understand that I kept on saying because I knew that money is going to have to come to me from me. Guys, from who was it going to come from? But I do remember that there was actually a day that after we came back with the code, he was down. And I'm like, what's up? He's like, no, but I was sitting looking at this and it's like, majority of the money to build this house is going to come from you. And I'm like, no, guys, no, don't worry. Remember, all the money that, comes into this house belongs to us. So we are building but he knew. And I knew that obviously it's going to be me building this house. But it was supposed to be us. Because Lina, guys, I was not at a point where I could say. But even though he would sit down and comment about things like this, would he actually say, no, you know what, let me and go out there and try make a plan? No. It wouldn't. It would just, be down. And then I still now have to apologize for the fact that now you can't go out there and hustle. Insecure men always seek validation. And that is the biggest thing, that is the biggest disadvantage that you get when you are actually with an insecure man. So what basically happens is that the power dynamics is already shifted, right? It's already shifted. I always, talk this with my friends, and I'm like, I think that the dynamics of the relationship where I was in, that was so dangerous, guys, because it was like of a mother and child. And I know some of you guys will not understand this. Let me go ahead and elaborate. When you are in a relationship with a man that you constantly have to pick up, you constantly have to baby, you constantly have to worry about, you constantly have to you're in a mother-daughter relationship, Shem. You're married to your child. I mean, you're in a mother-son relationship. You're married to your child, basically. And he knows that. He properly knows that this woman loves me, this woman is going to do this woman is going to do that. They know. So anyway, guys, like, honestly, when it comes to this whole situation, I have sat down and I've been just looking at things that I used to do, and to me those things were normal, and I just feel like screaming because I'm just like, there is absolutely no way. Absolutely no way. Insecure men, they always want you to feel sorry for them. So what they also do with that is that they are constantly the victim in any situation. In any situation, they are constantly a victim. Majority of the time, they will never take accountability of anything. He will never actually say that, well, I also acted this way and this is the reason why things are like this right now. But they will always, always try find someone to blame or something to blame to make him look like a victim. I remember the day that my ex gambled my first car away. When we went home, he was like, I don't know what all this, where is God when all this is happening? Where is God? Hey, this. Meanwhile, he literally got scammed. You guys remember that whole thing of, the fake gold scamming, wherein they will tell you, let's go, there's gold, we have to take it out from the mine, and then they'll be like, no, we've got a guy, an inside guy, this is gold, this gold is this much, we need this much to do this and that and that. And then he never made any research, never ever took my car, and he pounded it. And then after that, he went there. After he emotionally blackmailed me in terms of, I was saying no, but he kept on saying, whenever I'm trying for us, you never want to support me, this, and that's also just another trick. But because of Lina, I'm there and in love. Obviously, I want to make sure that umuntu happy kaloku, he's fending for us. What happened? My car got gambled, sharp, asikolab. But again, even in this situation, this man never took any accountability of his actions. The person he blamed this time was God. Like, where is God when all this is happening? Where are you now when they are scamming you left, right, middle, and center? And I remember literally actually saying, no, it's God's plan, man. Everything is going to be okay. It means, guys, I just don't even want to get there. But no accountability gets taken, obviously. So this also makes it very difficult for these people to also just learn from their mistakes, because they always find someone else to blame for whatever it is mistake that they have done, or whatever wrong that is actually going on in their lives. So you as a wife, you start feeling very sorry for this person. You literally get into a position of babying them because this person was abused. With me, there was also a situation where he would share some very personal things about his parents and some of the stuff his parents used to do to him when he was young. And I remember it was so bad to a point where I had to actually stop him from telling me this stuff. And I was like, you know what, I really want to just organize a therapist for you, so that you can go and talk to a therapist about these things, because I'm struggling to still love your parents after you share with me all the horrible things that they've done to you. And now looking back, I'm like, I'm sure this nigga was even lying with some stuff, you guys. Though I've been, I've stayed with them and I've seen some of the treatment that he used to get. It wasn't that good, I'm not about to get into people's family business. But at that time, I fully believed everything that he would say, right? And it was so bad to a point where, guys, even when he makes a mistake, he would go ahead and say things like, well, yeah, I was never taught this. I was never this. Now my mother, now my father this. And then now I would always think of the stories that he used to tell me. And then I would be like, yo, Mara, I should just give this guy a break. But whenever I suggested that he goes to a therapist, he would always have an excuse and be like, no, I'm okay. Which now shows me that it had nothing to do with him sharing. It had nothing to do with him trying to heal. Everything to do with manipulation. If I'm sitting here and I believe that this man was abused since he was such a child, then it means that I, as a wife, must start saying, no, man, this man deserves a break. He needs a break. So now he starts getting excused from his mainly duties, because provision, that's actually literally a man's duty in a normal household. I will not lie to you guys. I don't think there's anything that I did not do to try and actually have this man or rather boost his ego and basically just want him to not have any insecurities. I remember guys, anyone that asked me any question, no, my husband is very good with money. I remember I used to even say that to you guys because I literally wanted him to feel good. Due to the fact that he would always complain about me making more money, and not that when he's complaining he's going out there to try hustle. It's not. Because remember, guys, as I said, this is a manipulation game. It's all about manipulation. It's power and manipulation, and obviously making sure that when you submit, you understand. So I remember that he used to actually complain so much that the time that I started with shout outs, which I still do, you advertise your channel, and even if, let's say, maybe you want to do consultations one-on-one, which I also still do, the money would actually go to his account. His account, not my account. And was that? Because I felt like if money was going into his account, then it will boost his ego. Because then it's not like, oh, the money is coming to my side. It's going to him. So that's definitely going to boost his ego. I remember like it was that time where FNB used to have that whole system where if you earn this much, your card is going to be gold. If you earn this much, your card is going to be platinum or silver. Your card is going to be this and that. And I remember after like about a month and a half or 2 months of me actually doing that, he got offered like the higher card. And I remember he came home, guys, he was so excited. Yo, baby, things are moving. Yo, my card now, this is the card that they will know that this and this. Meanwhile, Galoko, it was my money. Please don't do that. Please don't try boost a man's ego. His ego should already be there. And an insecure man, the more you do, the more insecure he feels. That's why you can never win with an insecure man. That's why you can never make an insecure man a husband. You can't. It's impossible. It's impossible because even though this man knew that the card had actually changed color, right? He's of a higher level. He knew that it was not his money. Deep down, he knew it's not his money. Deep down, he knew that if it was just him, he wouldn't, because he would only job, he wouldn't hustle. You understand what I'm saying? Yet he wanted more. He wouldn't. So that's one of the stuff that actually happens that you need to know. The more you do for an insecure man, the more insecure he feels, no matter how or what emotion he actually shows you. So obviously that was happening. Money was going into his account. At this time, obviously we still had one car because now I was like, anyway. But they knew that obviously the car was cash. The previous year, we had been like, whenever it's school holidays, we go to places like Durban. And remember, guys, every single person around knew that it was his money. Now I'm just a stay-at-home wife. That's why even his mother would go around talking about how I'm chowing his child's money, not knowing I'm the breadwinner in this house. That's how carefully close I had kept that secret. Yokuti, I'm actually the breadwinner in this marriage because of I wanted to give him that pride. But no matter what I did, the more I did, the more insecure this man felt. And that is the thing with insecure men. He ended up going out there and cheating with somebody that cooks pap by the side of the road. Because she, obviously, was making way less than him. So if he's with someone like that, then with her, he doesn't feel insecure. With her, he's the breadwinner. And that's, again, another problem with dating insecure men. And most times, guys, I'm yet to meet a man that makes more than his wife and he has insecurities, especially when it comes to finances. I am yet to meet. He might start having insecurities if he's someone that is not mentally fully stable, and if you start now to make more money than him. But I've never met a man that makes more money than his wife and he's insecure, especially when it comes to finances. I've never. And remember, guys, insecurities have got different departments. You understand? They've got different departments. But when it comes to finances, I feel like that is the biggest one when it comes to men. Because deep down, men know they're supposed to be providers. But when they are not, it actually knocks on them. Please don't be manipulated. Please do not be manipulated. Don't. Because when you reach a stage where you just expect nothing from your husband or your partner as a woman, that is so wrong. So wrong. You are supposed to expect your man to provide for you. You are supposed to expect that from him. If you are not, start changing your mindset. Start changing your mentality, because your man is supposed to provide for you. That's how it's supposed to be. As I'm saying that, guys, now I had actually just reached a stage where I was just like, okay, play video games, let me make money for us, which is so wrong. Like, think about it now. I'm like, and like, I used to call him husband. Like, no, being a husband literally does actually come with responsibilities. You are a leader of the house. you're supposed to lead also financially. You understand? You're supposed to lead also financially. I honestly do applaud men that make less than their wives, but they're not insecure. You know, they do let their wives work and do whatever. And with them, they will make sure that they try to do every single thing, and they don't even want their woman's money. They don't feel entitled. They understand that they are a man, and they have to make sure that, you know, their household is provided for, and they make sure that it's them that actually provide. Unlike the spoiled brats. Because you are a spoiled brat if you sit there and you expect your wife to be doing this and doing that and doing that. And the other thing again that I should go ahead and say is that as a woman, the moment that you show a man that mina ngimbokoto, I can, that might even become one of the biggest mistakes that you actually make. I'm telling you. Because he's going to be looking at you like, how mbokoto, carry through. Do this, do that, do that. You know? They do that. So you cannot make a husband out of an insecure man. If you're dating your boyfriend and he's insecure and you feel it like you have to constantly be boosting his ego, leave him so that he can go find his ego as a man. If he comes back and he has found his ego, be with him. If he doesn't, get another one that has already found his ego and continue with life. Trust me, it's not worth it because you're not going to go anywhere. He will end up cheating on you because of the insecurities that he actually has. Or he is going to be your bodyguard. He's going to make sure that no matter where is it that you actually go, he must be there because, you know, now guys, I never used to go and do my nails by myself. He would, like Borna, he must drive me. And I remember guys at that time, I used to look at it and I'm like, oh my gosh, he loves me so much. He wants to make sure that I'm here. He wants to make sure this and that and that and that. It's only now that I realize, no, they were making sure that the perimeters are protected because he knew there was a better man for me out there. He knew. But if you're constantly in the house, and this is the other thing that insecure men are going to do to you. They're going to make sure that you are always alone. They don't want friends next to you. They do not want you to have anyone, because they don't want any outside influence. They don't. Everything must literally just be about them and catering to them. Now they used to accompany me to do nails. You would never find me by myself. If let's say maybe I go out and I'm to go home, I need to make sure that by the time he comes back from work, I should be home. Because if I get home and maybe he's been there for 2 hours, he's going to be like, yo, baby, you know, I missed you so much. You know, then I'll end up feeling so sorry for him. So even if I would go out by myself, guys, I have to make sure that I'm rushing home. Hey, 2:30, because that was when he would knock off. Let me at least be home so that my husband doesn't miss me. And it was all just mental manipulation. Sometimes it's not love. Sometimes it's the fact that this man knows that he has to guard you. Now, even if I had like maybe, let's say, an interview or I had something like he must accompany me, he'll rather take a day off work to make sure that I do not go by myself. And mind you guys, I could drive. I could just drive myself. But no, he has to get a day off. He has to do this. So some of the opportunities, maybe they'll be like, can you come and do this? I'm like, oh, I'm in Free State. I can't. Not because I couldn't drive. But because of now, I would feel like, oh my gosh, I have to inconvenience him. He has to take a day off. There has to be this. There has to be that. And that's the other thing again with insecure men. They stall your growth. They stall your growth. Instead of him sitting and thinking of how can I make money, he's sitting and thinking and plotting against you. How can I manipulate him more? That's insecure men for you. And they literally have an addiction to being the victim and for people to feel sorry for them, including you. You are their biggest target. That's why guys, if you're not careful, I don't even want to lie. There is a woman out there right now who her boyfriend does not work, but that man drives her car every day. He drops her off at work and then he goes and do whatever or hustle with petrol that she pours. He stays in her house. She pays all the bills. And this man has not been employed in over 3 years, but she's fully supporting him. And we sit and we look at it and we're like, how, Marawana, you're not smart, you're not this. This person has been mentally manipulated. This man literally sits and I'm sure they can act vulnerable. He talks about how sad he feels of the fact that he cannot get a job, but he's with your car. He doesn't try any job. He doesn't try any small business. Even if it's to go and buy potatoes or tomatoes and start selling by the side of the road. And this guy has got a car that is yours. Why can't he open a boot and be selling arch at the back of a car, or even tomato or potatoes? But when you are in that situation, you do not see. I think that's what I'm trying to say to you guys right now. That maybe instead of like, let's say maybe you've got a sister that is with a guy that is like that and she's being financially abused, you going to her and actually swearing at her and laughing at her and making fun of her and making snark, silly remarks. The only thing it will do is that it will make her step away from you, which is what this person wants in the first place. The best way to go about it is be suggestive. Say suggestions to this person. Like, hi, Mara, when I saw Usfiso, let's say the boyfriend is Fiso or the husband, when I saw Usfiso the other day and I was thinking, there's a spot there, maybe he could start selling tomatoes, because of he has got the car. So maybe at the back of the car, you can actually do this and that and that. He can do this and that, and maybe that can be a form of income, And then she can say, oh, yeah, maybe I'll ask him or whatever. But just be suggestive. Because mostly women that are in financial abuse, they do not see it. You have been mentally conditioned that this is normal. You are trained mentally that this is normal. And then in actual hindsight, you now start to feel responsible for this person. You literally feel a whole responsibility. That's why I'm saying that I was now in a mother and child marriage and I didn't even know. And I think that one of the biggest thing was that the moment I left, I felt like there was a huge load that was lifted off my shoulders. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like it's literally because even when I was not physically carrying this person, I felt like I was carrying a lot. Because remember, this is a victim, Kaloku. When he comes back from work, almost every day he must be talking about how he was victimized and traumatized by one teacher or the other. Insecure men. Insecure men. You cannot make a husband out of that type of a person. He is going to end up cheating on you. Trust and believe. And he will cheat with someone that is a bit lower when it comes to whatever he's insecure about. If you're with a partner that constantly acts a victim, leave. If you constantly have to give him validation, leave. If you see he has problems, you suggest therapy, doesn't want to go, leave. He's not ready to heal. He's only ready to manipulate you. If he asks you to go do loans, take cars for him, do this, leave. Because as a man, why don't you have pride? Why should you go to your woman? You don't have friends? You don't have brothers and sisters? It should be a woman that is supposed to respect you, that when you're now going to want that person to go up and down, taking loans, taking cars, please don't do that. I saw that there was one woman, they claimed that actually she resigned, took a pension fund and gave this guy so that he could settle his bills because apparently he wanted to start something. The guy then left and went and married another woman. Do not sacrifice yourself for a man, any man, except for your son maybe. Your child, we understand. But indoor danger, no. Financial abuse is a really, really tricky topic because a lot of women, guys, that husband of yours or that boyfriend of yours that keeps having one business and another, one failed business or another, and the funder is you. You are under financial abuse. You are in a financial abuse relationship. And let me tell you something again, especially when it comes to money, guys. The more you give a man, the more careless he is. For a person to really value money, they need to work for it. So even if you say, I'm going to invest 100,000 in my husband's business, he's not going to value that 100,000. He did not work for it. He didn't. But if he wakes up every day and he's out there in the cold selling tomatoes by the side of the road and he makes 100,000, trust and believe that 100,000 will make him $1 million because he worked for it. He knows what it takes. We as women, we want to make life so easy for our men to a point where we end up taking the role of a man. And guess what? These niggas are very comfortable with that. They take that and they roll with it. And the moment you train him, it's over for you. It's over. For you, it is over, my sister. For you to untrain this man, that's when, do you know, guys, that there's a man out there that has just shied, beat his girlfriend or his wife because she now started saying no to giving him money. He feels so entitled to it. I will beat you. Even like they will beat you and force you to get the pin so that he can go and withdraw. You don't know I'm doing this for us, this and this. And the other thing again, before I leave, guys, they will make it seem like I'm doing all this for us. So that when you feel guilt-tripped, like, okay, so what? He lost the 100,000, but he was trying to fend for us. Or he lost the 80,000 that I gave him again because he was trying to fend for us. When are you going to learn? Or when I give him money, he loses it. Maybe there is a problem. Maybe it's because he didn't work for that money. And I think that we should learn to educate each other without shaming each other. Even if you took 3 million and gave a man and he ran away, I am sorry for that. But no, it does not make you dumb or stupid. It makes you someone that did not know at that time. But the fact that you actually now know, that is great. It means you won't do it again. The only person that we should be looking at and being like, it's one that now has the knowledge, but still continues to do. Don't do that. Don't. Every single thing that I achieved, I always pushed it to him. So that because I felt like that was going to give him his ego. I constantly had to live under his shadow. And unfortunately, when his shadow is very low, I need to play down here. Because how dare you go above? And that's another thing again. When you're a woman that knows you want to be great, stay away from poor men. And I didn't say broke, I said poor. A poor person, you can see this is a poor person, even just by talking to them. Some people are so poor-minded. Poverty is just everything that they are. You listen to the plans this man has and you're like, poverty mindset. I'm not saying go for broke niggas as well because those, Libona, they can be problematic. But what I'm just simply saying is that if you ever feel like you need to give your man ego, you need to push and do this, he's not for you. He's clearly trying to reach for a higher level, a quality of women that are reserved for men with self-esteem, for men that are secure. He should go and play with women who all that they want is just, even if you give me 2 rands for Zimbas, I'm okay. Because some of you guys, your cars are actually SUVs. But the world knows that when you drive the Picanto, that's your car. Because the SUV has to be for Ubaba, since he has to look. Why are you boosting that man's ego? Don't. If he can afford a Picanto, he should drive the Picanto. Everyone should know his standard is the Picanto. And I know there's this whole thing of, okay, you have to close amahlazo with family yako and stuff like that. But if this man is not learning the lessons that you're trying to teach him privately, then let the world say maybe that's going to change his mind. Because secrecy is also another problem. If this man, everyone sees him as someone that's already made, he looks at himself as someone that is made, and he has no obligations towards you. When I left, maybe about 3 months, someone sent me a message and said, Owamie, why did you curse this poor man? And I said, what do you mean? Said, yo, kushushu. Remember, I was staying in town. When I left, he couldn't afford to pay for that house. So he had to go back to his mama's house. Second of all, my car that he got a divorce, it broke down. So now he was back to Johnny Walker. So now, it's only now that everyone's starting to realize, wait a minute. Can't they, all these monies that we thought were here and this, can't they, Zagaban? That moment, Owamie is getting a brand new SUV. Which he then had to come on the internet and tell everybody that she can't afford that. That's not her car. Somebody had to have what, because that information had to be out there. How is it relevant from you getting a divorce? It's not. But obviously, because now everyone is starting to see, wait a minute, actually, Kanti, he has to come and actually put a lead. Meanwhile, nigga knew nothing. And that's what I'm saying, guys. There is definitely life after financial abuse. I'm definitely here, and I am living proof that you can even do better by yourself without a man that is financially abusive, because now you don't have to live under someone's shadow. I was asked to quit YouTube to cater to his ego, because he said the fact that I make more money makes him feel less of a man. And I remember asking him, but if I am to stop YouTubing, then it means we have to go back to a back room because your salary clearly cannot afford the lifestyle that we live. And he said he would rather be in a back room, being the provider, than here, and he feels less of a man. Never did it come to his mind to say, actually, I'm going to go out there and start hustling and make more money so that I feel like a man. Why is your manhood attached to my success? No, it shouldn't be. For you to feel like a man, go make money. Don't let me stop. And obviously I didn't. And we're here now. Please do not sacrifice yourself for a man. Don't sacrifice your future for a man. Don't do that. Because I know there are women that do that. And I think that it's also just lack of knowledge. When you don't know what you don't know. Just because I'm now privileged to know a little bit more does not mean that I knew back then and I was just sitting there being like, yeah, I'll rather be abused. No, I didn't know. But I do know now, and so I'm going to do better now because I know now. And I think that that's only fair. You cannot beat yourself forever because at the end of the day, you didn't know what you didn't know. And the other part again that I'm going to say as I'm leaving is that some people think, oh my gosh, it's because you're stigmatized. Oh my gosh, it's because you're desperate. When you guys see a man, blah, 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 blah. That's not even the case. Majority of the time is because we are givers. So our parents, our spouses, they will gain more because those are the people that are closest to us. It's not because of, tinange mal, no. I look at people and they're like, guys, I sold my car to take my sister to college. My nephew, who is my younger sister's son, does not know public school. Does not know public education. Ever since that child was born, I have made sure that when he started, he was in a private school. Who's paying me? When I went through a divorce, after I had left my ex-husband, I upgraded him to an even better private school. I'm paying. I send money home every month for him to make sure that he eats, transport, whatever. I pay school fees. I do everything. So I am just a giver at heart. The difference is that I'm now learning also that my giving goes to the right people. So it's not like I was just sitting here and I'm someone that I'm like, no, with money, but with my ex I was giving, no. Of course it was going to benefit because I am a giver. And so that's another thing again. That's why they say givers need to learn how to stop because takers never do. And I could not agree more with that. So when you are a giver, guys, money for me is just an extension of living. Money is not everything. Like for me right now, I don't feel like money is everything. I love money. Everybody knows this. I love money. I love working because I know that money actually helps me. There's nothing that makes me more happy when one of my sisters is calling and they're in a dilemma and I'm able to help. Like, nothing gives me more joy when my son calls and he's like, auntie, can I please have a pie or can I please have a pizza, and I send money instantly. Yeah, go buy that. It makes me happy. That's me. I'm a giver. I love it when people around me are happy. Literally, like, I'm that friend that will borrow you money. Like, the highest I've ever borrowed a friend was like 30K. Like, I'm not someone that I love giving. I just give to the right people when I have. I don't have money right now, so please don't let me in my comments, because in my DMs, because but basically what I'm trying to say to you guys is that givers, that's exactly how they are. And most of the times the spouse is the one that will come in and say, baby, these people are taking advantage of you. You don't have to give. You don't have to do this, because they want to control, so that all the money will now come to them. And unfortunately, when you're someone that is like that, they will even marry you just for your money, just for the fact that you are a giver. I know my nigga might not miss me, but he misses my money. That one he does. That one, I'm telling you, he does. He misses it. Because I don't think he's making too much with what he's doing right now. And he has never been used to being somebody that has to be making, how can I say this? Like, after he messes up, for him to clean up. No, because Owamie was always there. Madam Cleaner. Cleaning up whatever mess. So, yeah, please be very careful. If you're a giver, give. Just make sure that you give to the right people and the right places, and make sure that you don't get to a point where you're being taken advantage of, But anyway, I feel like the video got longer than I even expected. I love you guys so much. Stay blessed. And I think that we should also just do either a Q&A or a live, where we're gonna be sitting and just discussing. I think the live might probably be on Thursday. So yeah, I think it might be on Thursday, maybe at 10 a.m. in the morning, and then we can be able to do that. But from Owamie Nechibazoro, I love you guys. Stay blessed, and I will see you guys in my next upload. Bye, ninjas.